My name is Rye Jones, and my favorite thing is sending postcards.
Welcome to the Finding Favorites podcast, where we explore your favorite things without using an algorithm. Here's your host, Leah Jones.
Hello and welcome to Finding Favorites. I'm your host, Leah Jones, and this is the podcast where we get recommendations without using an algorithm. Today, I have had some people on the podcast who have known me many years, and today's guest has known me all of the years, technically. My guest today is my older brother, Rye Jones, dialing in from Washington. He is an open source community architect and does a ton of volunteering and fundraising for the efforts in Ukraine. And I'm so excited that he's with me this afternoon. Rye, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. It's I remember I remember when you were brought home from the hospital. Like
all,
it was
all
yesterday.
two of us.
Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Did you know we were going to be two, or were you like, why are there two here?
I knew a little bit in advance, but I think I only knew like shortly after Mom and Dad knew. So it wasn't like, it wasn't a surprise the day of, but it was a surprise, shortly before. So yeah.
Amazing. It's because on the internet, Rain and I talk about how our birthday is people find out we're related on the internet because our names are so different and we don't look the same because we're fraternal twins. And like every year on our birthdays, people are like, what do you mean you're twins? I'm like, we have been twins the whole time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I have been at my current place of employment for almost 11 years, and it is not a coincidence that my first day was on your birthday, because I knew it would be much easier for me to remember. Like, what day do you want to start? And I was like, this one looks really good. Let's go with that. So,
well done. So, you have sent in voice memos for the podcast before. But right now you're working on this big competitive fundraise for the organization Car for Ukraine.
Yes. Which
is doing a competition, not a competition, friendly rivalry.
Yes.
Of 50 states raising money for Ukraine. So that is why we're talking now. So tell me about specifically this fundraiser, and then we'll zoom out a little bit and talk more about all this amazing work you've been doing on behalf of people in Ukraine.
Sure. So when I was in Kyiv last, I don't remember when, I think that was August, I met up with Stephen and Colin Bear, and they are over there raising money, and they were starting this 50 states for Car for Ukraine. The difference in between Car for Ukraine and the other nonprofits that I've worked with is Car for Ukraine is a nonprofit based in Ukraine. And the vehicles primarily come from the UK, Ireland, and come into Ukraine, are refit, and then shipped out to the front lines.
Okay.
It is a smaller organization. It's much more nimble, and it's very active on LinkedIn and stuff like that. They're very active, and I like working with them.
Yeah. So they're Ukrainian-based nonprofit, and then they're partnering. They're doing their fundraising, obviously outside of the country.
Yes. So they use a platform called DonorBox, which is fairly common for European nonprofits, and the money is raised and donated in your native currency to Ukraine, where the money is spent.
Okay. So I've got the site in front of me. Had they been fundraising before this big campaign, this 50 States for Ukraine campaign?
So Car for Ukraine had been, and I had been on, so I've been to Kyiv 5 times, and I had run into people that were delivering cars for Car for Ukraine on some of those trips. But this 50 States for Ukraine is a relatively new since August or July effort. And that is trying to disperse the fundraising into more local connected communities as opposed to the kind of the very broad, unfocused fundraising that had been going on previously.
Yeah. And so you live in Washington. So are you leading the Washington Battalion?
I am.
Yeah.
And we kind of got launched all at once. There were 3 states that got launched all at once. And basically they were like, well, we're going to wait and do some things. And then it got to a point where they're like, okay, we've got 3 states ready to go. Let's do it. So it launched. And so far it's been friends, family, and some people on LinkedIn that have been the primary donors. And I'm working to raise the profile by doing one of my other favorite things, which is we'll get to later. And we also have the opportunity to do screenings of a couple movies for fundraising. So I'm working to get a venue so that I can do that. I don't want to announce anything.
Yeah.
But we're working on getting a venue to do some screenings for fundraising.
Are they documentaries or about the war?
Yeah.
Yeah. That can be really powerful. There are a number of documentaries and films coming out of the Israeli and Palestinian filmmaking communities to tell the story since October 7th. And I think we still go to the movies for a reason.
Yeah. And I am very familiar with explosives and gunfire, and I am very much inured to high explosives at close range. But the 2 times ago, I think in July, was the date of the heaviest attack on Kyiv to that date. And I was there, and I had heard plenty of supersonic bullets going over my head. I had never heard supersonic cruise missiles flying by my hotel. So that was definitely a change in tempo, a change. It was a step change in kind of the volume of attacks.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience.
Different than a large fireball that you built and know how it's going to go.
Have a good idea about how it's going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So you mentioned you've been in Kyiv, you've been to Ukraine 5 times. Who did you go on those trips with?
That was with a nonprofit based out of Estonia called Help99. And that is fundraising under the flag for the North Atlantic Fellows Organization, NAFO. And it started kind of as a meme group of just shit posting on Twitter. And they transformed it into a very good fundraising vehicle for getting not just vehicles, but items that the the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the AFU, requests. Including med kits, computers, cars, whatever. So every time I go, I take whatever supplies my friends have donated, medical kits, laptops, stuff like that. And I'm able to donate those to specific units that have requested those specific items. So it's not like I'm just showing up with a bunch of stuff and saying, figure it out.
Right. When you do those trips, so you're meeting up you drive in caravans, and it seems to me they've realized, Ryan Jones he's a good driver.
So far, yes.
Because you went the first time, and it seemed without the expectation that there would be return visits, and now you've been 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like driving.
Yep.
And I've driven from where I used to live over in Moscow, Idaho, and I've driven from there to Indianapolis, down to Austin, and then out to the Four Corners, and then back to Moscow. I did that loop a couple times in the early 2000s. I just like driving long distances, and this is a long drive, but it's not a hard drive. Sometimes it gets a little bit difficult. Whenever it was, December, I think, when we were coming up out of Poland, it was cold, but it wasn't icy. And we made it through the low hills coming out of Poland into Ukraine with no problem. the convoy behind us, the road had iced over and they hit it at speed, and they didn't lose the vehicle, but everyone behind us had to drive much more slowly.
Oh gosh.
So fortunately I have avoided any of that.
And then is it a different crew of people every time you show up for the convoy, or some people are regulars? And
yes. So it's surprising to me how many of the same people that I've seen so many times. And it's a core of drivers in Europe that go a lot.
Yeah.
Like Germany, Estonia, etc. Those are it's fairly easy for them to go to Estonia, take a couple days, do the drive,
Yeah.
There are much fewer people from the US or Canada, but they're not rare.
Yeah.
For Car for Ukraine, if I wanted, when the fundraise is done, I could go to the UK, pick up the car, drive it over to Ukraine and deliver it. But I said I'd be willing to do that. But one, it would be on short notice. And two, that would take, 10 stamps?
Right.
And every time I go to Ukraine, that's 6 stamps in my passport. My passport is filling up with crossing that border.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want to have to get another passport already.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I want to rewind a little.
Yep.
You said that NAFO started as just like shit posting on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Was it because you're involved in the open source community? Was it just kind of like developers just shit posting about everything, or was it people shit posting about the war and then it became a nonprofit?
So NAFO is one thing, help99.co is another.
Yeah.
So NAFO was just, the idea was just to mock the people that were trumpeting the Russian line on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just memes and mocking and all of that.
Yeah.
And it was, I think I found it on Reddit is where it first came into my sphere of understanding. And then I started donating to the Help99 campaigns and getting patches. And if I had been a smart guest, I would have had a patch to show you, but I don't have one. And when you donate, they have a checkbox that says, if you'd be interested in driving, check this box and we'll be in contact.
Yeah. And
then one time they reached out and they said, hey, we need a driver. So I said I'd do it. So I did it.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's on one hand, I mean, it's very serious because the goal is for number one, the P0, right? The first rule is win the war, whatever it takes for Ukraine to win the war. And if you have to use humor to deflect, if you have to, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the source of that.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because when the war in Ukraine started, and listeners know that I'm Jewish, I converted to Judaism, and my Jewish and Israeli WhatsApp groups, because so many people are of Ukrainian descent or from Ukraine, I got swept into some organizing to support the Ukrainian effort. And it kind of answered for me how, like a lot of times when you read about the resistance in World War II, or you read about what civilians are doing during a war, it just like didn't totally make sense. And then this happened and I had a front row seat to seeing how people were organizing and what connections people had. And really the only thing I could do was like, just tell me where to send some money. Because I don't actually know what to do with a pallet of medical supplies. I don't have a connection at O'Hare. I am in Chicago, but there's nothing I can do. And I remember sitting in my car one day, somebody calling me to say like, all right, Leah, we've got 24 hours. We've got a pallet of medical supplies. And I was like, I am the wrong person.
Who do you think you've called?
Right.
You want the other Leah Jones.
Yeah.
No,
So it's interesting to see the different ways, the different grassroots movements that have come up to support Ukraine.
Yeah. And I felt I felt just as helpless and as powerless. I don't know if you remember this. I don't remember how active you were, but when the protests were going on, the Tiananmen Square protests were going on, everyone at school was like totally jazzed. It was like, finally, they're going to do it. And then they got run over.
Yeah.
And in my lifetime, I had seen, like when I was in 5th or 6th grade, right, the Poland got free and then the wall came down and all of these things were changing and it all looked so good for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching it all this backsliding over the last while. And it's frustrating to have, been born and grown up fearing nuclear war. And then as I got older, it was like, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Right.
Thank goodness. And now it's like,
yeah.
So, but I went through the same evolution. I'm still, I'm donating every month to Helena, who is an artist in Ukraine, a singer. And there's another artist that I've been in their Patreon for ever since. Sharp, I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then giving money to NAFO and, more and more. And then driving. One of the things that I do is because I'm nothing if not a marketing person. For the first time I went, I engraved some coins, which I don't have any with me. But the last time I went, I engraved some stainless steel. So these are copies of the Belgian dog tags.
Yeah.
So I engraved these to hand out, and it's just a way to give like a small bit of thanks. Like I had these keychain tags made to hand out. And so now I'm the swag guy. I mean, I show up in Kyiv and everybody wants to know, like, what did I bring this time? It's like, well, money and time, but yeah, okay, fine. I also brought some coins and dog tags and stuff. But but it's just to let people in Ukraine know that you're not forgotten.
Yeah.
We know you're out there. I have 3 ESL students in Ukraine that I meet with every week, and we don't do too much of the English teaching. It's just more of a conversation.
Yeah.
They want to talk to somebody they just want to talk to somebody. So.
Right. Yeah. The swag thing must be genetic.
It has to be.
Because I do it too. Like for like my senior marching band, I got pennies from 1995 and laminated them on a little piece of paper that said something and gave it to everybody to wear in their shoe. When I finished grad school, I had cedar challenge coins made that I gave to everybody on graduation day. Like, I am so compelled to make a little tiny thing to remember.
So here is this is a sterling silver necklace that I made. And this one is not engraved, but these are tungsten blanks for challenge coins.
Yeah.
So I've been making these and giving them out to drivers. That if I know I'm going to see a driver that I've already seen 5 times, I'll make them a nice tungsten coin or something.
Cool.
But yeah, it's just, I want people to have something to pick up and remember. Like, remember when I did that thing? I don't want to be, I don't think you and I were ever in the position of, asking grandfather, what did you do in the war?
Right.
But if someone asked me that question later, I don't want to go, well, I watched it on TV and it was pretty cool, man. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I did what I could.
Right.
And it's not nothing.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not on the front lines.
Right.
But I'm pouring in the money and pouring in the time, and I feel that it works. So
yeah. I had dinner recently with a friend from grad school she's from Taiwan, her husband's from Ukraine. And I was like, oh, my brother does this thing where he like goes and he like drives cars and helps deliver stuff to Ukraine sometimes from Poland. And she was like, what are you talking about? She's like, but you guys aren't like, there's not your people. And she was so deeply touched, and she kept coming back to it. She's like, wait a minute, tell me what your brother's doing again. And because she was like, my husband's going to be just over the moon. He doesn't think anybody in America knows or cares about what's happening.
No, I promise. The last time, I think in July, on the July trip, I met with the Kyiv Independent, and they asked that question, and a lot of people ask that question. It's a very standard question.
Yeah.
Like, are you Ukrainian? Do you know Ukrainian? It's like, no. Right before the war started, I was looking for somewhere to spend Marriott points. And I was looking at Ukraine. I was like, oh, I could stay for a week in Kyiv for like no points. Wow, that's a cheap hotel. So it was like right before the war kicked off, I was looking at going to Ukraine just to spend Marriott points.
Yeah.
And that obviously didn't happen. But it's, the people at the Kyiv Independent were just like asking that question over and over. It's like, why? Why are you doing that? Why? It's like, because I hate bullies.
Yeah.
And I can't stand by and do nothing.
Right. Because we read The Sun Also Rises.
Yeah. And yes, it's just, you can't, if you just stand by, you're part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can people support Car for Ukraine, and why specifically should they support the Washington Battalion?
I will provide you with a link to the fundraiser. And why Washington State? Because I live here and I want to complete our fundraising.
Yeah.
I told the chief fundraiser vetter that if we didn't make the goal, that I would just do it myself. And I don't want to do it myself because it's like $12,000. So, but the reason is, it doesn't, I would like for you to support the Washington State Battalion, but supporting Car for Ukraine at any level, it's all appreciated. We need to get these cars. These units have been waiting sometimes for many months to get cars, and we need to get these cars are super cheap. They're on the order of $10,000 to $12,000 or 10,000 to 12,000 euros to buy, refit, and send over. Mm-hmm. And that is a huge fulcrum around which your money can work.
Yeah.
I promise you, no one is living off of living the high life off of these donations. That is not happening. But
it gets cars much needed transportation to the front line.
It does. It is. These cars are requested specifically by the units in configurations. So some of them are set up as EW, electronic warfare vehicles. Some of them are set up as ambulances. Some of them are set up as command and control. The unit will request the type of vehicle that they can use the best.
Okay.
So it's not like we're just buying pickup trucks and sending random things over there.
Yeah.
When I'm working with NAFO and delivering vehicles, every time I've been to Kyiv to hand over the vehicles, I have conversations with people about stuff that's going on that I don't talk about with anybody until I see it in the news. And it's like 6 to 9 months later, I'll see something about it in the news. And, I've seen plenty of stuff over there that has been demonstrated that shows me that the rate of development, I know at the beginning it was like, oh, we got to go over there and teach Ukraine how to fight. And at this point, you have to be honest and look in the mirror and say, no, the greatest military industrial complex right now is basically an axis between Estonia and Ukraine. They are really leaning on each other to develop this technology and get it into the field.
Yeah. And
Ukraine specifically is so far ahead in terms of almost everything.
Wow.
So it's good for the soul to go and just talk and listen.
Yeah. Outstanding. So we will have links in the show notes for Car for Ukraine. If you're listening, if you found out about it through this podcast, the only state to support is Washington. Plus, you can see the patch that you designed for the logo for it with a Yeti wearing, or right, a Yeti.
Yeah, it's a Sasquatch, wearing a plate carrier, and I don't have the patch in front of me, but yeah, it's it was fun. It took a lot of iterations to get there, but I liked it.
Yeah, awesome. So, Rye, like I said, the timing of this fundraiser is why today. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted to talk to you about one of your favorite things. Mm-hmm. That is not Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I appreciate Pink Floyd, but those days are long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the mail. Let's talk about postage. When I started traveling for work, before I got the job that I have now, I had only left the United States to go to Canada once. I drove up to Vancouver. When I got this job, we started traveling, and I started sending postcards. Yes. And I don't know when I started sending the postcards, if it was the first time I was in Amsterdam or not. I think it was. But I have a list of about 100 people that I send postcards to every time I travel. And I love doing it. I have, I pick out the postcards, and I always try to beam positive thoughts or good vibes, or remember a good time that I had with the person when I mail the postcard. I know when you're doing 100 of them at once, it's kind of like, mechanical, but it's like, I take.
Do you travel with printed labels to make that part easier, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'll take my label printer. I have a little tiny label printer.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I'm known for on the NAFO trips in Kyiv, is I'm the postcard guy, because I always go to the post office and buy like a huge sheaf of stamps.
Yeah.
So, and I'll sit there at dinner like writing out postcards.
Yeah.
So I know you've been on the receiving end of a few of those.
Yes.
I love doing it. I have, I think, 4 families now that have asked, like, can you send one to my kid? She's 8. She loves a postcard. So I'm just, it's like, yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah.
So I'll go find a cool postcard and send it to them.
Yeah. And
it's given me the opportunity to see a lot of stamps all over the world and realize how bad our stamps are in the United States. Yeah. It's just like, our stamps are so boring.
Even the good ones, once you see what other countries are doing, just pale in comparison.
Yeah. Although I did buy a couple sheets of SpongeBob SquarePants stamps.
Nice.
Those have been very popular.
Yeah.
I rarely get comments on the stamps on my postcards, but now that I've started using SpongeBob, people are like, SpongeBob? I love SpongeBob. It's like, yeah, okay.
That's so funny. So you start traveling internationally. What, like, the first time you sent out postcards, was it like to 10 people? Like, what do you think the list was? Were you on that trip in Amsterdam or Singapore and you're like, hey, maybe I'll send some postcards? Or did you know before you went, this is the thing I want to do?
It was not planned. I think in the first trip to Amsterdam, I was just walking around and I saw one of those, what I now know are millions of the exact same store in Amsterdam, that had cool postcards. And I was like, oh, I should get some postcards and stamps. Yeah. And I think that first time it may have just been to, you and Rain and Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I didn't really have that many addresses.
Yeah.
But then, I just asked my friends, I was like, hey, if you want me to send you a postcard when I'm on the road, give me an address and I'll send them. And so I've been doing that for, 9 and 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
And do you send yourself a postcard from the same trip?
Almost never.
Okay.
I'm also a member of Postcrossing.
Okay. Which I've heard of.
Yeah. So Postcrossing, basically you put your address in and you send and receive postcards from all over the world, and you can say, what you want out of your postcards and this and that. And it's just fun because I never know what postcard I'm going to get, and sometimes they're cool and sometimes they're funny, and it's like a little surprise. And I try to be careful sending out postcards and picking something that's not something that they are going to have seen every day. I purchased a set of super awesome postcards from Archie McPhee, which is the local store here,
a legendary store in Seattle.
Yeah. So yeah, I like doing it. I like finding weird postcards and putting them in the mail. So it's a lot of fun.
It's also been interesting to see, especially on these Ukraine trips, just how long it takes for a postcard to get to Chicago.
Yes, it is. It is impressive.
Yeah.
I have here a postcard from Finland, which was sent on the 16th of October.
Okay, 2 weeks.
2 weeks for a postcard from Finland. And this one was sent from Germany, and it was sent on the 11th.
Okay.
I have had postcards from Ukraine, people like 3 or 4 months after I send them are like, "Oh, are you back in Ukraine?" It's like, well, I've been back twice. Yeah. It's really bizarre because sometimes I'll send postcards from Ukraine and I don't know, they get on the fast train or something and they'll get to Poland and they'll get out. And sometimes it takes months. So yeah, it is really weird.
Yeah. On Postcrossing, so it's not a pen pal situation. It's do you get randomly assigned someone and then you don't get another name until you send that one and it's verified received, or like what are like the mechanics?
So that's basically it. You sign up, you can send, I don't remember, I think when you first sign up, you can request 10 addresses. And then you put the number on the postcard and date it and send it. And then when the person receives it, they register the postcard, and then you can send another one. That opens up a slot for you.
Okay.
And after, I think, 90 days, it times out. So if someone doesn't register a postcard or whatever, it's fine.
You're not punished forever.
You're not punished for it. But it's cool. It's really weird because I have sent postcards to a lot of Ukrainians in Europe. Because I'll look at on your profile page, it says, "Hey, I'm living in whatever. I'm living in Dusseldorf, but I'm originally from Ukraine." And I'll just say, "Hey, Slava Ukraini. I've been like 5 times, and I'll be back soon." And it's just, it's really cool. It can be a pen pal type situation if you want, but for the most part, I think a lot of the cards that I get and that I send to people are either from school teachers or retired people. And the school teachers are mostly, I have a class of 8-year-olds and we're sending or whatever. Yeah. And so, or it's somebody that's retired and just wants to get something in the mailbox. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Something other than whatever, solicitations, junk mail, so much.
Yeah. I don't know. There's probably an AARP alike in the rest of the world that harasses you as soon as you
turn 50.
Yeah. That was definitely. I got laid off once, and I had another page to sign, and it was I had to sign I agree that I'm not being laid off for age discrimination reasons. It was like, well, I mean, the company is shutting down. But it's also interesting to me over time how the questions at the doctor's office change. It's like, have you fallen?
Right.
Are you able to bathe without help?
Yeah.
It's like, it's been 15 years since I got my first senior discount. And I was just blown away. I was like, how old do I look?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, lady.
Yeah.
But
I had a coworker at lunch yesterday ask who Jeff Goldblum was. My coworker Nick and I, who are the same age, I just put my hand on his arm and I was like, "Don't react. Don't react.
You can't say anything."
Then I was like, "Oh my God, Jeff Goldblum to her is like what Cary Grant was to us."
Yeah, exactly.
But we knew who Cary Grant was.
Yeah, it's that shared cultural indoctrination that doesn't come from we have more than 3 TV channels. So.
Yeah. I also when I lost my job at the agency, mm-hmm. I was only 40 and I got that age discrimination clause. Yep. But I was, other than our receptionist, as I thought about it, like I was the oldest woman at that office, and a page of the ages of everybody losing their jobs that day.
Right.
With no names on it, but I kind of looked at it and I was like, okay, that's so and so, that's so and
Yep.
But yeah, I was like, I'm only 40, but I was at the time the oldest woman in the office. At 40. There was a receptionist older than me, but other than that, I was the oldest person or the oldest woman. There were like 3 men older than me. It was weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And, I've had, I think 2 of my PCPs, 2 of my primary care physicians have retired. Mm-hmm. And my dentist has retired. I had the same dentist from like 93 and he's retired. And I'm like, what is with you people?
Yeah.
Retiring and stuff.
No, it's brutal. It's, I don't know. It's weird. Did you write letters when we were kids? Like, did you write letters with Grandma and Grandpa or anyone?
I don't think so. I think the largest letter writing campaign that I had to do was when I graduated from high school. Mm-hmm. Mom and Dad said, you need to write a thank you letter to everyone that gave you a gift.
Yeah.
And so I sat down and did that. I don't think I was big into letter writing.
Yeah.
But my memory is fuzzy, so.
But I guess Grandma and Grandpa were in Terre Haute maybe through your high school graduation? I had a couple years of long letter writing with Grandpa. Mm. So my thought was just like, I was wondering if you had done any pen pal or letter writing stuff that might have turned into postcards. Was my train of thought.
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't know, like, why I just got so much into it. When I was in Hong Kong, that was fun because that was back when I believed that I needed to have the postcards manufactured from photographs I had taken on that trip, and I spent an entire day getting the postcards made so I could cut them out and mail them from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
and so after that, I was like, okay, I can buy postcards.
Yeah. Yeah. For a while, when I was at that marketing agency and I was traveling, like, it felt like every week for work and I was flying all over for different companies. For a while, I would send postcards from every business trip to like Henry and Quinn.
Yep.
And a couple other friends' kids. And a couple other friends. I was just like in the airport. I would just carry it was all domestic travel,
right?
But I'd buy the like "Welcome to Minnesota," and then there were only so many Minnesota postcards to send.
Yeah,
so that petered out. But for a couple years, I did on business trips send out postcards.
Yeah, and it's cheap. It's a nice. It's a nice touch point to let people know that you're thinking of them.
Yeah.
It's not, like you're going to break the bank on postcards.
Right.
I should not calculate how much I spend on postage every trip.
Yeah, but postcards are cheaper than t-shirts.
Yes.
They take up less room.
Oh, yes.
I already have 3 t-shirt quilts. I had to banned myself from buying podcast t-shirts, and now I get enamel pens. If I like something, I get the enamel pen, and then I have like a growing collection of enamel pens from places I've been or shows I've been to, and I'm really, once I made the third t-shirt quilt, I was like, we have to stop buying the shirts.
Yeah, and that's my pre-COVID. My life was trade shows, and I hated giving away t-shirts because I don't want to stand in a booth all day and ask women
what your size.
What size shirt do you wear? It's like, I don't want to fucking ask that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Could we please have something else to give away? I mean, but t-shirts are popular, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm in charge of our swag store at work. And we partnered with someone where it's all drop shipping. It's all embroidery on demand. And they share the warehouse with all of their customers. Which means what was important to me was to have like expansive sizes. So size inclusivity and also price inclusivity.
Yep.
That everybody doesn't want to spend $100 on a Peter Millar, button down.
No.
Leave that to the bankers. Some of us just want like a generic hoodie. And so I worked really hard to provide a company store that has like, some things go up to a 6X. The only person I've had complain they can't find something is a very, very small woman who like even they're like, can you get this for her and a kid's? And I'm like, I cannot, but that's one person out of 500. And I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. And that's hard to do. It's always, that is a difficult, especially when you're dealing with, a large population of people. It's really difficult to find a vendor that can supply like everything that you require when it comes to sizing and pricing. And you're right. It's like the fleece vest or whatever.
Right.
It's like exceedingly popular. It's like, I have enough fleece vests. I don't need any more fleece, please. So. Yeah.
It was, so I'm headed to Finland at the end of November. So excited. Going up to the Arctic Circle to see the Northern Lights.
I hope you do.
I hope I do. We have also planned a consolation trip for me, which is a week after I get back from Finland. Ronnie and I are some friends are going to Vegas. So we can drive out to the desert to see the Geminid meteor shower.
Oh, yeah.
Because the meteor shower is happening.
Right.
Like, that is a meteorological event. It is not weather. Yes. Northern Lights are weather. So I understand I may not see them, and I'll be very fucking disappointed. But we have a contingency plan.
I've been to Iceland 3 times, and I've only seen the Northern Lights from the airplane flying in.
Oh, no.
Every time I've been to Iceland, it's either been not Northern Lights seasons. That's as soon as the COVID travel restrictions let up, the first thing I did was I bought a ticket to Iceland. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to Iceland. I liked it when I went there.
Yeah.
And I went there and they threw a volcano for me, and that was very cool. But there were no Northern Lights. But the previous time I'd been there, it was the Northern Lights were apparently great. Yeah. But the entire island was covered with like 30,000 feet of cloud.
Yeah.
So I didn't see them. And I did see them on the airplane, as I said. And I don't remember when the third time was I was in Iceland, but I didn't see it then either. So good luck. And I think it's cool that you're going to Finland. I've wanted to go to Finland for a long time. It just hasn't worked out.
We're going way up north to the airport is called Kittilä. So if you drove from Helsinki, it's a 12-hour drive.
Ooh.
So we're going way up in the Arctic Circle, but we're going to go dog sledding. We're going to go reindeer safari. We're going to go to Sweden and stay in an ice hotel.
Wow.
We're giving ourselves every opportunity. Like, there are lots of fun things, not just sitting around being sad that the weather is not happening.
I'm jealous, and good luck. I hope it works out, because the little bit of it that I've seen, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Mom is like, don't you remember the Christmas we flew to Seattle, seeing them out the window of the plane? And I was like, I sleep on airplanes. I don't see Northern Lights.
yeah, no, I, yeah, I'm an aisle seat person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm done with window seats. So
Yeah. But why I was saying that is we were like, Ronnie and I have been going through our checklist of like, what are the things we need to make sure we have for this trip? And a friend who has been dog sledding told me, like, make sure you take baby wipes with you because the dogs poop while they run and you get poop in your face. And that is in none of the travel guides. So thank you, Jessica Gottlieb.
yes, that is practical experience right there.
Right? And he was like, do you have any battery packs for your phone? And I was like, I have so many, because that was like the swag for a number of years. And as I was trying to put hands on my camera, I was like, oh, here's a MoFi. Yep. Here's another battery. Here's another external battery pack. I was like, don't worry. I've got external battery packs with logos.
Well, and that's travel advice I've gotten when I'm going to Ukraine. They're like, yeah, bring extra battery packs. And the thing that on my previous trip, I bought, man, I don't remember. I think it was in December. It was really cold. So I bought electric heated pants and a vest. And then I went over in January, I think, or February. I don't remember. And I took it, and I didn't really need it, but it was nice that I had the opportunity to be warm. And if you're going up that far north, I mean, the thing to keep in mind is your batteries do not last nearly as long as they do down here. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yep, they get cold and pew.
Yeah, I bought some Smart Wool base layers, and some Darn Tough socks.
Good call.
And rented clothes, rented outerwear.
Yeah.
Which is something I didn't know was an option. But they're going to deliver it to the house we're staying at.
Nice.
So I don't have to worry about carrying boots or any of that stuff.
I didn't know that was a service. That seems logical though, because you're not going to need that, 300 days out of the year. So.
Right. Yeah. What are some of your other, because you do travel a lot, what are some of the other things you do to, I don't know, get to your trip with all your clothes, which didn't work out for me last year. I don't know, like, what are, not necessarily that, like carry on, fine. But like, what are the things that you always make sure you pack on these trips?
I don't have it within reach, but I finally broke down and bought my own international hotspot. And I use Airlo so that I have, I've had so many problems getting into country, setting up an eSIM so that I have data coverage.
Yeah.
You already mentioned one of them, baby wipes.
Yep.
Always take that. One thing that I have learned is that most, I'm going to say, I can't say all, but in most places that I travel to, they do not have washcloths in the bathroom. So I've started taking like a loofah or a sponge or something.
Yeah.
So it's like they just don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I always take something that doesn't require battery power. So it's usually a book or something of that nature, so that I can, relax a little bit when I'm in country and not freaking out. But when I'm traveling for work, I'm basically a pack mule. I live the Pelican lifestyle. I pack in however many cubic feet of swag I need to take to whatever event, and I'm going. So
the extra things I've gotten for this trip are like the smart wool, the stuff to stay warm, a fleece hoodie that has a balaclava attached to it, and that can just go with a coat. A TikTok got me to buy a game called P is for Pizza, just a dumb word card game that we can play. And then our house has a sauna.
Ooh.
And so I got I got 2 Turkish bath towels and took them to the dry cleaner downstairs and had them sewn together to be a massive towel.
Wow.
So that I can just feel comfortable in the sauna.
Yep.
But and the wet wipes I've already set aside for the dog sledding.
Yeah. So it would be difficult to show you, but I always take I think these are the most expensive pair of shoes I ever bought.
Okay.
So,
what are those?
They're Italian hiking boots that I bought in Iceland because I did not prepare. And I thought that my Nike shoes would be strong enough to crawl around the volcano. And after nearly breaking my ankle, I went into Keflavik and I asked the lady at the front of the hotel, I was like, where can I buy hiking boots? And she's like, well, there's just one store down the road. Keflavik it's where the airport is, but it's a really small town.
Yeah.
It's maybe half the population of Terre Haute. It's small. It's really small. So I went there to the women's store, which was the only place that was a dealer for these hiking boots.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need hiking boots. I cannot get on the volcano with these shoes.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, measured feet. And she's like, do you want orange or do you want white? Because, that was when I was, I think I was in 8th or 9th grade and I was already wearing size 13 shoes.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, I guess I'll take orange.
Yeah.
So, and the dollar is very weak against the ISK, and it's just everything in Iceland is imported. So everything is freaking expensive.
Right.
So I bought these boots and I'm going to wear these boots until they wear out. They are comfortable and they're great. And, I wear them all over the place, but I don't think I ever would have bought them if I hadn't wanted to climb on the volcano.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a pair of Blundstones.
Yeah.
Those New Zealand hiking boots or Australian, something like that.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. That I got because when I went to Poland in 2019, every Israeli on the trip just wore those shoes all day, every day. And then I got back and there was a shoe store and I saw them at a shoe store in Chicago. And I was like, everybody was so comfortable doing walking tours every day in those shoes. So I got a pair.
Yeah. And that's, I take these all over the world. And that's exactly why, because were they expensive? Yes. But are they worth it? Yeah. They're really comfortable and I can walk for hours and hours and hours in these and it's fine.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything about postcards or supporting the efforts in Ukraine that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about?
I would just ask people when it comes to Ukraine, one of the questions that I get very frequently when I'm in Ukraine is, what do Americans think about the war in Ukraine? And my answer for that is they don't. And I would just ask people to think about if this was Canada reinvading us and burning our capital down again, we would want some support. And since they are the only country to successfully invade and burn our capital down. But it is something to keep in mind, and with these, your dollar goes a long way. And if you pick the right organization, I choose to support Car for Ukraine and Help99.co. I trust them, and your money goes a long way. I also have supported Safe Passage for Ukrainians. I bought hundreds of nights of hotel rooms to get Ukrainian refugees out of Europe into Canada or the United States or whatever. I bought plenty of flights. I work with EnGin EnGin. It is an English teaching thing. They have a backlog of over 200 students that need people to talk with them to help learn English as a second language. So if you have the time, it's only an hour a week. Just help any way you can.
Just on Zoom?
Yeah, I use Zoom. So just, think about it and help any way you can.
Yeah. And we'll put links to everything in the show notes so that people can click through and get involved. Do you want to be found on the internet? Do you want people to follow you anywhere?
I'm really easy to find on the internet. Just github.com/ryjones, RYJONES. Same name on LinkedIn. Shoot me a note. I'll reply.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rye. This has been a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Finding Favorites, you can find it technically on Instagram, but I'm doing a really bad job of posting there. But please rate and review 5 stars. Tell your friends to listen. And yeah, get your COVID booster and keep enjoying your favorite things.
Thank you for listening to Finding Favorites with Leah Jones. Please make sure to subscribe and drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. Now, go out and enjoy your favorite things.